Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nishchita, and first up, it's cops versus residents in Lakshmipuram. The residents erupted in protest against the KG Halli police last night, blaming them for the death of Pradeep, a resident there. The accused inspector has been suspended, and in the backdrop of the unrest, Pradeep's body was shifted to the Chamrajpet cremation grounds. The police are leaving nothing to chance and have made strict arrangements to ensure that the crowd of 200-odd well-wishers of the deceased do not cause problems. The body was taken to the cremation centre without being sent back to his house, and this has raised several questions. Well, these were the scenes witnessed at the Chamrajpet crematorium just a while back, when the mortal remains of 26-year-old Pradeep, who committed suicide over the alleged atrocities that were meted out to him by the police officials. His last remains were cremated in Chamrajpet. Many of his relatives, friends, well-wishers came in to pay their last respects, and there was anger in the air as the relatives felt that the police officials are to be blamed for the untimely demise of young Pradeep. Although there are several versions to these events, to what exactly happened, while on one hand Pradeep's family members claim that in a drunken state he got irked with the fact that the tenants had dumped garbage in the building. He went to complain, and this drunken stupor is what led to the argument between him and the tenant, who happened to be a woman. In another version of events, it is being said that Pradeep was a lech and an alcoholic, and he would display vulgar behavior.
He has committed suicide by hanging himself inside his house, and after that, when the staff of this KG Nagar police station, they have reached there, so they have been assaulted, and then cheetah vehicle was burned. Thereafter, the inspector along with his staff, he has gone. Then there has been allegation that he has bashed up the innocent people there. This matter was brought to the knowledge of senior officers, including Commissioner of Police, Bangalore City. He had directed me to come to the spot. Then already our DCP in charge, Rohini, Labhuram, DCP West, ACP Daud Khan, they were here. We have spoken to the protesters there in the night, and we have assured them, at that time assured that that whatever the required action to be taken against the persons who have committed high-handedness, will take action. And accordingly, it was announced last night itself that the inspector of this police station, CD Nagaraj, he will be placed under suspension, and he has been already placed under suspension. Apart from that, today morning, the body was sent for the last night itself. The body was shifted to Victoria Hospital, and today morning post-mortem was conducted on the body, and subsequently the body was sent to the crematorium. The body has been now cremated, and after the cremation ceremony, we have called father of the deceased, his relatives Sandeep and Raghu, and even the local leaders who were present last night there maintaining.
Well, that was Assistant Commissioner of Police for Law and Order, Alok Kumar, who went on to state that the boy had committed suicide over alleged atrocities that were...
We will take up the criminal case also against the person, and if any other person, if any staff, other staff of the police station, he has involved himself in such type of illegal activity, or who has exceeded the jurisdiction of law, we are going to take action against those people also.
So is it a fact that for 2 days there was no FIR filed though he was arrested?
See, what I understand that now inquiry, there is an officer of the rank of DCP designated for this specific purpose. She is conducting a detailed inquiry. So off the cuff, we don't want to say anything. Only thing is that we are going to take strict action, and we will take action as per the law, and the persons who have violated, we are going to take action against them.
Thank you so much.
In fact, Alok Kumar, they're promising the relatives and friends of the deceased that action will be taken against those who are responsible for abetting the suicide. This comes in the backdrop of Pradeep committing suicide. Now, 26-year-old Pradeep was taken into custody by the police on Tuesday, and for 48 hours he was kept under detention is what we understand. For 48 hours, he was thrashed black and blue. He was not given food, water, or even clothes, and that he was humiliated by the police officials. Only after Pradeep's friends managed to give them around 15,000 rupees, the police are said to have released Pradeep without a formal complaint being registered again by the tenant. How exactly could the police treat him in such a manner is the question being raised. Well, these were the scenes witnessed at the Chamrajpet crematorium. Even before the final rites were conducted, it had given rise to a war of words of sorts between the police as well as the family members of Pradeep. In fact, even at the crematorium, there were slogans being shouted and anger in the air. While on one hand, Pradeep's family members claim that it was all a misunderstanding, that the police tried to capitalize on and tried to loot them of their money. On the other hand, reports indicate that he was a lech. But without the allegations being proven, the man continues to be innocent, and hence the police officials did not have the authority to treat him in such a brutal way. In response, the police have suspended both the inspector as well as the two constables who were involved in this crime. Well, several residents had taken to the streets last night and resorted to vandalism in protest. It all started when the resident, Pradeep, was taken in for interrogation for knocking on the wrong door in an inebriated state. Pradeep claimed that he was tortured by the cops and beaten brutally when in custody. It is also said that Pradeep Iranaya Kumar had been taken to KG Nagar police station on Tuesday night. He was arrested after a woman who was also a tenant in their three-story building on the Madakari Nayaka road accused him of trying to rape her. The trouble started on the 17th of August when the tenants hosted an alcohol party on the terrace of their building, which irked Pradeep, who is a teetotaler. Pradeep objected to the party, irked by his remarks. The woman allegedly slapped him and her husband beat him up. My colleague Deepak joins us live for more details on this. Well, Deepak, what are the latest updates?
Well, Nishita, the Alok Kumar, Additional Commissioner of Police, Alok Kumar just left the Kempegowda Nagar police station. There was a meeting held inside with all the officials inside the police station. He just left the spot after a big round of investigation and interrogation of the officials who were inside. Now, he has made it clear that DCP Rohini, who is right now in charge, DCP Lokesh is actually in charge of this particular police station since he is on leave. Now, DCP Rohini is in charge of this particular station. Now, she, officer at the level of a DCP, will be taking over this particular case. She will be investigating exactly what happened, and all the people involved in this particular case, he said, will be taken to task. As of now, the suspension of Nagaraj will stand. CD Nagaraj, Inspector CD Nagaraj will stand. However, the constables who are involved in this particular case and all other staff, the police staff, he said that anybody suspected of either taking money or directly or indirectly involved in this particular case will be taken to task. None of them will be spared. That's what the Additional Commissioner of Police has assured. Now, DCP Rohini, as I earlier told you, will be taking over this particular investigation. She will be thoroughly examining what exactly happened with this particular case. Why was this particular person kept inside the police station for 3 days without filing an FIR? All these aspects will be looked into, and he said that justice will be delivered to Pradeep's parents, Nishchita.
Right, and also we understand that even as we speak, the final rites are being conducted in the crematorium of Chamarajpet. Do we know what is the situation there? How far has it been kept under control? You were there a while back. What was the scene like, if you can just describe it to us?
Well, Nishita, of course, there people were engulfed in grief. They did not have words to express their anger, their grief, their frustration, because Now, this is an innocent 25-year-old person. We spoke to his brother-in-law a while back. Now, he went on to say that he was such a person that he did not even want to go out, party. He always refrained from all of this because he did not want to get into any kind of scuffle. He did not want any kind of problems in life. Even if he wanted to have a drink, he decided to do it at home, not indulge with a lot of friends. This is the kind of person he was. He always was to himself. And an incident where it was a certain kind of misunderstanding between the tenant and the owner went on to become such a big scenario where he actually went on to claim his own life. Now it's a 25-year-old young boy who's actually lost his life due to the police brutality, we can say, because for 3 days he was humiliated. He was beaten up black and blue for a person who even refrained from going out, partying with friends because he didn't want to get into trouble. Just imagine the kind of trauma that he would have gone through being in the police station for 3 days, being beaten up by these by the police here. Even water was not allowed inside to be given to him by his friends or family members. Now such a person actually going back home while he was at home, while they even treated him for his injuries, while he was seated, while nobody was there, he decided to actually claim his own life because he could not bear the kind of humiliation and the torture that he was put through for 3 days, Nishchita.
Right, and also any word from the complainants in this particular case, the tenants of the deceased?
Well, Nishita, that particular complaint it was probably a misunderstanding of sorts because they had just moved in a couple of weeks ago before this incident took place. When he was a person who actually just wanted his house to be clean and tidy. There was a lot of paint boxes, and a lot of other items which was kept on the terrace. He wanted these things to be clean. Now we hear that he had attended a particular party and come back home. Yes, he was inebriated. But he was sitting at home there, and all that he went and did was knocked at the door, went and asked the lady to actually clean up all the mess. He wanted the house to be clean and tidy, so he went and knocked. But this lady would have probably assumed that it was an inebriated man trying to come and knock at the door, and she was alone at home. So probably fear set in. She immediately called her husband, who then called his brother, who have then come to the particular house. And they have assaulted him initially and then gone ahead and given a police complaint. The police have then dragged him out of the house, taken him to the police station and then beat him up here. So it was a series of events, Nishita, which has taken place. Initially, it was the woman who was scared that probably it was a person who was going to harass her, but you could say it was. We cannot probably tell you what exactly happened at that particular moment, but from what it seems like, it was a misunderstanding where a tenant, where an owner was going and was probably trying to tell a tenant to keep maintain the house in a proper manner, to keep it clean and tidy, but it was understood in a way of harassment, and especially if he was inebriated, if he was a little loud, the woman would have been scared. That's why she has gone on to actually go and complain to her husband, who has then gone on to inform one of her brothers, who then assaulted her, then the police coming and assaulting him. So overall, quite a traumatic experience for him. So the complainants initially have done their bit in going ahead and giving a complaint. It is not the fault of the people who have gone ahead and given a complaint, but it is the duty of the police to actually go ahead and thoroughly investigate the matter as to why a complaint was given. It is a duty for them to actually get to the root of the case, actually as to why was the complaint given, what exactly transpired, was the complaint valid, and what necessary action should be taken. For this, an FIR should be lodged. That's the duty of the police, Nishtita.
Right, and also lastly, a formal complaint been registered against the 3 cops who have been suspended now, Deepak?
It's a departmental inquiry which will be conducted, Nishita. Now, a complaint as of now has not been taken up. Now, an inquiry is on. The police inspector in question has been suspended. As Alok Kumar earlier spoke to News9, he went on to say that there will be appropriate action taken. There'll be no person who will be left without any action being taken against him if he is found guilty. So even a staff member in the police station, if he is found guilty of any kind of action which he has gone on to do, which is not as per law, he will be taken to task. So a formal complaint as of now against the police inspector or anybody has not been taken. It's a departmental inquiry which will be conducted. Now, if they find him guilty, then yes, there will be a case registered against the police inspector and all the concerned officials.
Right, thank you for joining us with all those details there, Deepak. Well, there we have it. A departmental inquiry has already been initiated, but a formal complaint has been registered, and this even as the final rites are in progress at the crematorium in Chamarajanagar.